It's time to start Dishin Days with your hosts, Tony Moore, Michael Mattis, Justin Lee Hareld, and Araceli Aviles. And now, let's dish. Top of the morning, afternoon, evening to you folks. Welcome to Dishin Days, where we are serving up a full dish of this week's episodes of Peacocks. Wait, what? What do I say?
Peacocks award-winning
hits about the days of our lives. Do you need me to take over, Tony?
No, I just forgot. I was like, Peacocks. What
show we watched? I think it's because you were doing the trader. You were doing the trader stuff, and that's on Peacock too.
Yeah.
Bear with us today, folks. It's daylight savings. We are not at our 100%.
Apparently, I left the opening in daylight savings. Okay, let's see if I can do this again. Welcome, everyone. We are serving up a full dish of Peacock's exclusive #1. Did I ever say exclusive?
Yes.
Yeah.
Peacock's exclusive #1 award-winning hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. Please like us and follow us on all social media platforms. We are Dishin Days Show on Facebook and Dishin Days on Instagram, Twitter, X, and Threads. Also, if you are watching us live and in living color, or maybe later, why don't you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already, which you should have. That way you'll never miss when we're going live or when we've uploaded a brand new video for you to check out. And if you haven't checked out our previous videos, grab a snack, sit back, and just go through all of our playlists and have yourself a jolly good old time. Also, if you want to be an exclusive member of our exclusive members only page, make sure you hit the join button. For $4.99 a month, you get to see some videos before everyone else gets to see them with your day's cast. Also, you get to participate in some virtual events held with your favorite hosts of Dishin Days, along with some fan favorites. So, fan favorites meaning fans. So make sure you join today. I feel like I'm making this up as I go along. Also, if you need to listen to us on your favorite podcast station, we're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Just type in Dishin Days and take us on that long car drive, or while the kids are playing in a sandbox, or if you're gardening in your garden. You can listen to all the stunt shows and shenanigans that happened in Salem, brought to you by your favorite host of Dishin Days. Also, make sure you show some love to our former co-host and my chocolate twin, Mr. James Lott Jr., over at JLJ Media, who is serving up a couple of knives and spoons of his own. Check out the soap opera lineup, where he is giving you a recap of Bold and the Beautiful, Young and the Restless, and General Hospital, along with some original audio dramas, because James Lott Jr. is the only person that I know who's old enough to have been friends with Betty White.
That would have been amazing. I know you're LOLing, but friends with Betty White, man.
I mean, I think they would have similar personalities, and they would chit chat. Like, she would call him and be like, "Oh, hey girl, I just did this game show," and he'd be like, "Girl, let me tell you about the guy who invented the game show."
I'm not sure this would have applied. I'm not sure this one was your best, because Betty White only died a few years ago.
But she was almost 100.
Yeah, and she had friends. Yeah, but she had friends in like 5 different generations.
James has lived in 10 of those generations. If we did a slideshow of things older than James, it would be nothing. Hello, my old friend James Lott Jr. All right. What else am I supposed to say? Oh, that's it.
That's it.
Oh, barely got through that. Let's see how we get through the rest of the show. Welcome back, Michael Mattis.
Thank you.
The folks had missed you. They were like, "Where's Michael Mattis?" I said, "I don't know. He's doing something fancy."
I was shooting an Oscar viewing event.
Oh, fun.
It was cute.
I literally only watched the opening of the Oscars, and that was it.
Which I thought actually was done very well.
Oh yeah, Ariana and Cynthia. Ugh,
yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
I thought she didn't lift up. But apparently she did lift up. They lifted her up. Oh, no. I wish I were, but I'm not.
So it says, oh wait, I thought it said he paid $4.99 again. Oh wait, there it is.
No, that's Christian.
Oh yeah, he did.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I'm late. Hypnotized Rafe before Jada came in. You're welcome. Should I hypnotize you too, Tony? Please do.
Did he pay $4.99 last week again?
He does.
Yes.
Me World pays $4.99 a week. Where if he pays $4.99 a month, he could join in. But you know what? Who am I to tell people what to do with their money? Speaking of money, Peacock spent money on this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives. What did we think of them?
I enjoyed this week.
Mm-hmm.
I feel there's been a shift in tone, or maybe it's the pacing, or there's been a shift, and I can't put my finger on what it is, but I'm more, even if I'm like distracted for a minute, it'll draw me back in and it'll hold me. Like and I haven't put my finger on what it is, but I enjoyed this week.
Yeah, I like this week too. I think we always like whenever there's a large amount of the cast together and they actually get to interact. So that's always good. It's also one of those weeks where things bleed into other plot lines, so it's sometimes hard to keep them separated. But yeah, I think it was a pretty good week.
Yeah, this I had to actually rewind a couple of times this week because I was like, wait, what just happened? So that's a good sign for the direction it's going. I think we're ramping up. We're ramping up into the new writers regime. We're ramping up into kind of the back end of the content that we were previewed at Day of Days, that we knew would take months and months and months to see, and now we're finally there. So it's good. It's all good.
I mean, I thought this week was fine. It's going somewhere.
I think you're just tired, Tony.
No. I mean, I watched them all today, and I was like,
you know, interesting you mentioned that, Tony. I've been watching, because I got plenty of time on my hands. I've been watching them as
Beyond the Gates.
What?
Oh.
Yes, but also I've
But
been watching Days as they come up, like the day that, like, I'll watch Monday on
Every
Monday,
day.
Tuesday on Tuesday, blah blah blah.
Oh wow,
Instead of
that's
and not
new for
like in
you.
Compass order either. So go me. But and I don't know, maybe if that has something to do with the way I'm watching it. If when I'm binging, maybe it's like too much or whatever. I don't know. But
You could be right, because I got to Wednesday and I was like, oof, I got 2 more episodes to go. I was like, gee, and then I'm like looking at the clock like, girl, am I gonna make it? But I thought it was fine. I mean, the storylines are moving along. There were some places where I'm like, oh, okay, now I wonder when the shoe is gonna drop, sort of a thing.
yeah.
You know, of course, the usual messiness of it all, and then preparing ourselves for what we know is about to come.
Yeah.
So, and then 2 seconds before the week ended, it was like, surprise. But we're going to talk about all that, shall we? Oh, it is now time to start
Dishin
Dishin
Days.
Days.
That's close.
We've got to get that recording from our live.
And, well, one day, I don't know. It's on there somewhere. Let's kick things off with our very first storyline, which is Meet the Dimeras. What a hot mess this was.
Monday was I think my favorite episode of
Oh my god.
the week. The way that part, the way that whole situation just kind of arced from like, you're like, uh-oh, and then it started to happen, and it was just, some things just made me laugh out loud. This was the episode, I think, someone mentioned they had to rewind. I think this was the episode where I had one, and then the way that it ended in a very kind of dark, not a dark way, but a very dramatic fashion. And I was like, wow, that was a solid episode. Like, it kind of took us everywhere. But yeah, what a mess.
I'm just getting tired of them having to impress Mrs. Choi. And I'm like, this ain't your baby. This ain't your responsibility. Like, again, like I said last week, you should be there to guide them and make sure that they're making the best decision. But nobody's got to impress you. Like, you should be encouraging them to say, okay, listen, you made this mess. You need to clean it up. I'll be there for you. But no. We all knew that lunch was going to be a mess when they decided to meet at the Dimeras mansion. We should have known. We should have known. And it all started when Chanel walked in with her Little House on the Prairie dress. Even Paulina was like,
God. I was like, okay, Handmaid's Tale over here.
It was like, wait, your breasts are covered? What's going on here?
Oh like, God. And that cross, I'm like, I have that cross looked like the one on my wall. It was so big.
No, it was also the hairstyle. It was like
all up and conservative.
Well, yeah. It was like up, but it was also that braid that comes across the front. I was like, who looked at like Sister Wives or something to be like, you know what? That's it. That's the hairstyle. With very Amish and holy. It reminds me of that part in the musical Chicago when Roxy tries to look all wholesome.
Yeah.
It was like Chanel just came out and like, and what was she gonna do with that little plate of food with all them people?
I can't even. And just, oh my God, so many. There were so many moments that I had to pause because I just could not stop laughing. Like if I had been in the room for that, there's no way I would have been able to keep it together.
No way.
Well, starting off when Paulina and EJ were like, we'll get out of your hair when they heard the news. And then they were like, no, stay. We need like a family united front. And I was like, oh, girl, like, careful what you wish for. Like, it should have just been the five of you, you two.
Disaster.
Even Paulina and EJ were like, oh, okay. After they were just like ripping each other new assholes.
But I'm gonna go against the grain and I'm gonna say something that probably not a lot of people are gonna agree with. But given the recent events and even the recent events of this week, I think you'll understand my logic when I say I agree with Amy Choi on this one.
About what?
No child should be in that house. We are actively seeing the effects of Rachel being raised in that house right now. They're not good. And take away her conservative values, take away her even concerns about the grandparents. It just no child should be raised in that house. Now, if Johnny and Chanel want to move out and start fresh and create a life on their own, and then have this conversation again after all of that, great. But I could find no fault in her argument of getting her daughter and her grandchild the hell out of there.
But see, I don't know. I'm with you, but I'm also kind of like Rachel is the product of Brady and Kristen. Yes. And I blame that more than the house.
Well, that's true, but it's their effects. It's like they're not going anywhere. Chad made the right decision years ago to remove his children from the house. Granted, it wasn't for those reasons, but we're seeing that it's just putting them in a different environment, putting them in the Horton house, putting them in an environment where they're not exposed to the daily Dimeras shenanigans. It matters. That kind of stability matters.
Well, then listen, take one of them wings and have Henderson deliver stuff to the rooms to eat, and you only have to walk past the foyer when you exit.
Oh, yes, because house arrest is such a good solution.
Well, not house arrest. That's
what you're describing.
That house is big enough to where you can create your own little apartment.
They should not
In the
have
West
to
Wing.
do that in their
I'm
home.
sure there's another entrance other than the front entrance that they can like.
That's not what a home is supposed to be. A home is supposed to
A
especially for a
home
child.
is where the heart is.
Yeah, not where the felons are.
See, Araceli, I would have liked it if they led with that, though.
Mhm.
Like, the religious stuff is getting annoying a little bit. I would have
Yeah.
liked it if she showed up and she was like, wait, the Dimeras? Like, I felt like that should really be her issue. You know what I mean? Like,
And how
does she not know? I know.
How did she not know about the Dimeras and all of their shenanigans before going? Like, how would she not have a preconceived notion about the Dimeras equals bad?
How does she not know that
if
Nicole's
she's been living in Salem? She should.
But how does she not know that Nicole's been in Paris for a year?
That's her good friend. How did she not know that Nicole and EJ were divorced?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been like a year.
Unless she knew. Okay, so my whole theory about Mrs. Choi is that she's trying to use this baby as a meal ticket, and my opinion kind of slightly changed this week. The fact that she was even open to another couple, another family, another couple adopting the baby, I was like, oh, maybe it's not. Maybe my theory was wrong, or maybe all that she knew about the Dimeras for whatever reason was that they had money. And that but then she saw what, and she's like, no, I can't even do this to, and so I still think there's something else to Mrs. Choi, but now I don't know, I'm kind of questioning that. I'm kind of on the fence about that now. However, and I feel like they were actually on a somewhat good track, despite the odds. I felt like they were on a good track, other than her not liking the sweet bits.
Okay, can I
ask
a question really quick?
Yeah.
When we heard sweet bits, did any of us, and we know we are some people who could take it there, but did any of you ever take sweet bits to like that train of thought that Mrs. Choi did?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I'll say it's not an obvious. I think it's not an obvious double entendre,
yes,
but it's one I feel like you have to think about for a minute. And I feel like Miss Choi, she got there too quickly. I was like, oh, like
you have to really
obvious way to think of it, but it is a double entendre. It's just not an obvious one. I think.
Yeah, you have to really be a conservative to really like hone in on that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a.
I never, when I heard sweet bits, I was like, oh, because like all the stuff they showed were like little bits of sweets, and I was like, oh, sweet bits, got it, that's cute. When she was like, oh, you should think about the name, I'm like, ain't nobody talking about them sweet bits. You're nasty.
I remember thinking, I was like, oh, it's a double entendre, but I'm like, but it's
it's cute.
I like
it's a cute name.
It's not overly promiscuous. It's cute.
Yeah.
It's meant to be cute.
Yeah.
I want to.
I'm gonna finish my thought. They were on a good track. What derailed it was Gabby, which also this part made me laugh out loud. Walking into the house and being like, "Where's my brother, you son of a bitch?" I was like, "Oh well, this just going to hell in a handbasket right now." But it made me laugh the way that they just stormed in, her and Jada.
Well, that's because Jada and Gabby. It's almost like they didn't see Paulina, Chanel, Johnny, what's her name? Sophia, Tate, Mrs. Choi. Like, y'all saw none of those people, and y'all walked in. Like, if I walked in somebody's house, I'd be like, where's my? Oh, hey.
Can we talk to you for a minute? Yeah.
And every single minute thereafter was just like a concurring explosion of bad. Like, just when you thought it couldn't get worse, it got worse.
Yeah.
It was so good though. It was like a train wreck. You couldn't keep your.
It was.
I was like, this is great. This is good stuff. And everybody in their reactions and how they were performing in that scene was just A+ across the board for everybody.
And then of course Johnny goes and opens the tunnels and they're all like, what?
Mrs. Choi was sitting there like, girl, like,
And then Tate and Sophia, you can see they were just like, oh, god damn.
yeah, it's like of the what kind of timing is it? But again, there was no acknowledge. There was not. They did. It's almost like Gabby and Jada thought they were just in a moment with EJ, and nobody else mattered. And I'm like, at what point are they going to realize that like they are now the show and they are spilling too much? And it's like they didn't care. It's like, oh, is he down in the tunnels? Show me the tunnels, Johnny. And I'm like,
I know.
And then
I was like,
Johnny,
girl.
and then once Johnny heard the name Arnold Feniger, which I'm glad that he recognized the name, that he knows the history. I mean, granted, he was a little boy when all that happened.
The one who raped my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. The choice face once the word rape was mentioned was like, oh no.
Yeah, Johnny at that point had checked out of the entire conversation.
He wasn't worried about a baby at that point. Yeah.
No.
Johnny and Chanel were like, well, we lost that baby.
Yep.
That was a good shift. Carson did good at shifting.
Yeah, he was really good.
Shifting his demeanor when from like, you know, wanting to adopt this baby to like Arnold Feniger, like the shift in tone and everything was perfect.
But also how he was with EJ being like, Dad, tell me you had nothing to do with this. It's like, lie to me. Lie to my face and see if I won't slap the dog piss out of you in front of all these people. Lie to my face. At that moment, it was not Dad. It was very much EJ.
Elvis.
That's even Elvis.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this was a train wreck from the start, and it just got worse and worse. But honestly, I didn't expect anything better because they went into this as a lie. It was all a lie. It was all an exaggeration. And and a big part of this is Tate and Sophia not being willing to stand up for their child. I get that they're just kids, but they're letting Mrs. Choi run the show.
Yeah.
And there's gonna come a point where they have to put their foot down and say, this is our baby and we will be making the decisions.
Yeah.
You know,
like instead of Sophia being like meek, I want her to be like, Mom, stop. 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 This is how it's going to go. I am the mother of this child. You are not. You did not lay in bed and spread your legs for Tate Black. I did. Okay? So me and Tate will decide what we will do about this baby.
If there was anyone I feel like that would be able to get through to Sophia, but she's unfortunately distracted on the other side of town, is Ava. If Ava was still if Ava was still in Sophia's ear the amount she was before, I feel like she would empower Sophia to be that way with her mom. But Ava's got other problems.
And unfortunately, it doesn't feel like Tate and Sophia are getting the right guidance and support that they need right now. I feel like Brady and Ava really, if Brady and Ava were there to back them up, then they wouldn't be going around just randomly trying to find random couples to adopt the baby.
Right.
And they're messing all this up. It's a big mess that if somebody would act like the adult in the room, could be fixed, could be solved.
And unfortunately, the adults are distracted, except Mrs. Choi,
who is on the case like Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah, and you know, I won't defend her any values that I don't agree with, but I will say she has the right to demand honesty from her child. She has the right to expect that her child will go to a good home, that the adoptive parents will not lie or exaggerate to her. Those are not that to me, those are not unreasonable expectations to have when it comes to the long-term care of a child. Now, whether or not the values of said adoptive parents align with hers, that's not her decision. But the fact that Sophia and Tate are going about it this way is not helping their cause at all. They're not proving to her that they can deal with this situation if their solution is to lie and exaggerate.
Yeah.
They're just doing the best they can
They're
themselves.
just doing the best they can with what they got.
Oh, babies. Babies having babies.
Well, I mean, that is a tale as old as time.
Yes.
Song as old as rhyme.
Mm-hmm.
Beauty
Well,
and the Beast.
maybe they'll get an advocate. We'll talk about it later, but maybe they've got an advocate coming in soon.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that we have removed our prayer cloths from our legs, let's move on to the next part of this, which is the Jada Rafe Arnold of it all. Okay. Oh.
I'm
okay.
No, go ahead, Tony. Go ahead.
Okay. I feel like I wanted Rafe to ease into his memories a little more, so that way they were possibly a little more believable. Because I felt like if I were Jada, I'd be like, oh, so you just gonna rattle off all the stuff that you've been told? Because that's how it sounded.
Mm-hmm.
As the audience, we're privy to the fact that like we're inside his mind and we're seeing that he's remembering. We know that he's Rafe. But again, like Jada was, it was like, girl, anybody could have said that. Anybody could, you know. And I feel like the Jada that we know is so rattled and frazzled that she cannot put two and two together because she's so close to the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I love the fact that he's remembering. And I love the fact that the last thing he remembered is the fact that he saw Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so hard to believe because it just could seem like things that you're regurgitating.
Yeah.
There was one thing he remembered that was more personal, I think.
The first time they may live.
Like something he said to her.
I think it was the engagement.
The engagement, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I remember watching it, and I was like, "Oh, she's got to believe that. She's got to." And I think Elia did a good job of showing her struggle of like she started to believe that he was really Rafe, but she was like, "No, I'm not going to get fooled again."
Mm-hmm.
But then when she got she would, I was like,
she got the what?
The fingerprints. She got the fingerprints checked. No, that's later.
You didn't finish your whole thought. I said, you got the what?
I'm glad. So it was a little quick for him. I was expecting we would get weeks of this. He's Rafe. We know he's really Rafe. They all think he's Arnold. That there was going to be some sort of blocker that they were just going to assume he was Arnold. He was going to spend some time in jail. Blah blah blah. I am sort of glad that they didn't do that and they didn't drag this out. And I was like, oh, they're it gave me some feels of they kind of got back together or whatever. Now we just got to see what happens with her and Sean.
Can I ask a question to the group?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Araceli and Justin, you guys give your thoughts, and then I'll ask the question.
I kind of agree with you. I think it should have been a little bit more subtle. He was just at that point, it was like he knew, so he was just kind of rattling off. Mm-hmm. I thought he should have like showed him a little bit more like remembering, like maybe each memory led to another one kind of a thing. I am happy that we know it's Rafe and that part of it is done because I going through another now set of him having amnesia, it would just be it would take the storyline in a whole new direction. So I'm glad that's done. I'm kind of like, after a plot line, we're always kind of like, well, what was that for? So I guess we're waiting to kind of see what was that for. Mm-hmm. If Arnold is out of the picture, we presume he's done with Arnold. He's Rafe. He doesn't have the memories, but he's still with Jada. I know we still have the Sean thing lingering, but I'm also like, okay, well, what? Yeah, what was that for? Now, I guess we'll see. But
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't mind it so much just because I'm really ready to move on from this. I'm ready to turn the page. So, because there's still so many consequences of what's happened that we have yet to sift through. So I'm ready to just move on.
Okay, so question to you guys, and I might have asked this question, but it really dawned on me as Jada and Rafe were in the interrogation room. Are we still, for Jada, Team Rafe or Team Sean?
I am Team Rafe, just because I feel like they deserve. I think that they deserve that solid landing with each other. I haven't. Rafe has not had a pairing pretty much since his time been on the show. I'm sorry that I've ever really been 100% for until Jada.
Yeah, Team Rafe. I mean, her and Sean have chemistry, but not enough for to like sway me to their side. Like, I think like if she's with Sean and she's with Rafe, they're not. I wouldn't say kind of the same relationship, but I don't see anything greater on the Sean side than what she has with Rafe right now. So I'll say Rafe.
I see the potential with Sean,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a little quick. It was a little too flash in the pan.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see a solid relationship with Jada and Rafe and see where they can take that before she abandons Rafe and goes to Sean.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned they like Sean on it. They're liking Sean on his own, not attached to anybody, and I don't mind it either.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess if I, one or the other, I would say Jada and Rafe. Even though I see the potential with Sean, like
I think I've
let Rafe be happy for a minute.
I think I've switched. I like Jada and Sean. I don't know why. I like their interaction, even though it's been very brief. I'm like you, Michael Madison. I'm like, I could see something there. I don't know. They seem personality, character wise, I feel like they seem more of a match than her and Rafe.
What's Riz? Is that
It's a kid thing.
Is that a young person's term that I don't know?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What does it mean? Charisma. Oh, charisma. Why is Araceli losing her shit over it?
It's Araceli.
Because it's just the most random thing that you could have said.
That's what someone wrote. Someone said Sean got Riz.
Sean got Riz, and I was like, what does Riz mean? Charisma, uniqueness, and what does RuPaul say?
Nerve and talent.
Nerve and talent. Yeah.
No, that's see you next Tuesday.
I worked so hard to not let the latest
I never put that together before.
teen young adult lingo permeate my brain.
Wait, Michael Madison is on a huge discovery of stuff. You never realize that when RuPaul says charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent spells see you next Tuesday?
Nope. Never bless my heart. I never put that together.
It's like Michael is out in the sun and he's seeing the world again.
Let the sun shine.
Let the
sun shine in.
Okay, that's funny. Okay.
Yeah.
So many layers to Drag Race I'm unaware of.
Yeah. So now when you want to be spicy to someone or slightly shady, you be like, girl, you got so much charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
Isn't that a compliment now, though? I feel like that,
Depends on how you use it.
I use it.
Yeah, when it's used as an adjective
Or a pronoun.
or a pronoun. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Ay, ay, ay.
We left some-
I and then Miss Rita, did you kill Arnold?
She didn't say. She was very nondescript about her permanent solution.
I love her so much.
Is this too much Rita or too cartoonish Rita, or are we liking her? Now that we're getting more of her.
I still like Rita. I just wish that she had been a long-standing character, like a long-standing character, like Dr. Rolfe. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like someone that we see, who's all-knowing, who takes control when she needs to. But I feel like if we had been seeing her throughout the years, then I think it would make more sense and have more of an impact.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're just supposed to know, like, she's been around taking care of stuff, and now we're just seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
Rita's like the Bart. What Bart used to be to Stefano.
Yes.
She's EJ's Bart.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I don't remember if I saw like this character's origin, so to speak.
Mm-mm.
She was in
Like, where'd she come
one
from?
episode last year.
Last year, yeah, that was the only
And
one.
we were all when EJ was still CEO, and we were all like, "Where did this lady come from?"
Yeah.
Okay, so I had that reaction. Like, I must have had that reaction when I first saw her last year too, because
Yeah,
I don't mind her. I do wish they would have done a little bit more establishing, rather than just have her like pop in once, pop out, pop back in again, because it just seems like she's being used as a convenience to the storyline instead of actually a qualitative addition.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's like Henderson and everyone else. It's like, we wish. Can you imagine if like they had their own like thing, like their spinoff? It's like it's like the Help of Salem. And they're just like sitting in the room being like, ugh, what's going on at the Dimeras mansion now? Child, I don't know, but I walked by them tunnels again. Somebody in that room, I just don't want to see it. My name is Ben and I ain't in it. And Rita's like, well, I had to take care of that Arnold Finnegar. Oh, girl, how'd you do that? Stabbed him. That could be a Beyond Salem 3.
The Help.
The Help.
Beyond Salem, Rita
and them. All of a sudden, it's like Rita and Henderson and everyone walking out of like walking into a shot like the Avengers or something.
Because Rita, cook, chef, Hareld. Remember Ileana from the 90s? From the Dimeras? Ileana can come. She'll be the surprise guest. Is that
Downtown Abbey, Salem edition.
Mm-hmm. Thuggerita. Oh. But I will say the girl who does hold a piece of the puzzle is the exotic dancer,
Savannah.
Like, she was not phased. She was like, makes sense. He just wanted me to keep calling him Arnold. And I was like, girl, you're not phased about this at all. You sitting here trying to have your cocktail and be left alone. Thank you, Mick Floyd. Dan is really ramping up the evil in EJ. He's so devilish yet still irresistible. I want him. We do too. Even more, maybe a haircut or the BDE. Either way, that's my man. Damn. Okay, Mick Floyd.
Extensive.
He dropped 20 on us and was like, "That's my man." What say you? Where's Jen? Jen's in the chat room somewhere. What say you, Jen?
That's right, Jen. That's
you have a
that's
fight on your hands, Mick. And I believe Jen. I would not count her out of
Claus.
Hi, Jen. Love you.
you know it's that moment where like I saw the super chat come in and I just started reading it, and I usually read like ahead of time, and I'm just like,
you ready to fight?
oh.
You ready to fight for him?
Okay.
I was gonna say, Jen, drop $20 and we'll bring you and makeup, and you can duke it out. Bro.
Ding 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 ding.
We're turning Day of Days into a fight match where people are like, I got 20.
I got 20.
It already was one, wasn't
it?
It already was one, wasn't it?
Oh,
Was there?
Oh my god!
Oh, there were many fights that day.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. You were just not.
I wasn't there for all of them.
You were elsewhere.
Jeez Louise, Day of Days 2024, honey. We got through it. So scandalous. Oh, I was saying, you know what? That just brings back memories. I was still mad getting a tweet talking about, and those folks at Dishin Days. I'm like, now how we get in it?
I was gonna say, according to some, we
doing?
were the promoters, I guess. We were.
Yeah, I was like, we have nothing to do. We was just trying to like talk to the fans and get some content and stuff. How we get in it?
people just making stuff up.
They really do.
And I like how like someone affiliated with Dishin Days. Well, one of them was
four of
hosting. One of them was at home watching A League of Their Own with Bimby. There were only two on the floor. Like we're some orchestra.
Oh no, it was me. It was me they were talking about because people kept
Whatever.
seeing my face, and then you know what I said? Bye. I don't work here.
It was still a lovely event. I'm very glad that people got a chance to meet their favorite cast members of Days of Our Lives. You
But
know,
please don't at me.
You know what? Sometimes what you make of an occasion is up to you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you had a bad time, maybe it's your fault. Anywho, Lord have mercy. Jesus. Victoria said, Tony said, beautiful gowns. Yep, beautiful gowns. Very beautiful gowns. Did you just now get that one too?
Aretha, yeah.
From now on, whenever anyone asks me a question I don't want to answer, I would say beautiful gowns. Gowns. All right. I mean, and that's pretty much it, right? We've covered everything.
Rafe seems to have gotten most of his memories back up until
he got kidnapped.
Yes, and then poof.
Yeah. Oh, at least they know it's the real Rafe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the second. What'd you say?
I was gonna say the JJ Gabby part where she was ready to put a bullet hole in him, bullet hole through him.
Again, I need a map of Salem because the way that JJ got to the Hernandez house, saw the gun missing, and then in the next scene was like there. I was like, now that's quick. Like, did you run through the neighborhood? So, speaking of maps, speaking of maps, I think this was like a while ago, and I forgot to mention this. We were talking about the map of Salem, and someone had said, Salem is in Illinois. Yes. And I got a message from one of our dearest supporters, Mr. Tom, who told us that Salem is not in Illinois.
Tom Early?
Mm-hmm.
Where did he say it was?
There's a running joke on there that it's in like some like jumbled up, like a couple of different states all jumbled up.
Oh, it's like the Simpsons joke where where the
Yeah.
map is the United States basically, so it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's
everywhere but nowhere.
and nowhere. Which
And then
goes
whenever they point to it, some character's head comes into frame.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it goes to Annette's point that that he could just take the Mr. Rogers trolley. You know, one spot. You know, just hop on, hop off.
So for the longest time, to Tom's point, they did say like Salem was supposed to be like an anywhere USA, where it could be, and it was similar to that Springfield Simpsons joke where it could be. There's so many Springfields. It could be Springfield, Ohio, Springfield, Illinois, Springfield, Missouri, California, wherever. But it was established somewhere officially that Salem was in Illinois, and that's why they have maps of Illinois in the scenes now.
I say the last 15 years they've been leaning into Salem is in Illinois. I mean, no one has said I'm in Illinois. Yeah, of course. I mean, what other Springfield would there be outside? Yeah, that close to Chicago. Yeah.
Girl, I don't know. I mean, it's not like they solving that either. Anyway, Day of Days 2024 tea time for the members. Okay.
Oh, is that our next
our next happy hour? We talk about Day of Days 2024.
I mean, we could.
Landon says, I love Tom Early, or as I call him, Tomcat, my best California pal. He does great work. Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tom Early for taking us on a visual journey on our favorite soap opera, Days of Our Lives, making sure everything looks good and looks how it's supposed to look. If we're in Greece, we're in Greece. If we're in Salem, we're in Salem. We're at the pub, we're at the pub. I still want to know. I want a list of the restaurants they get the food from.
Oh, I actually do have an update on that.
Yes,
I have an update on that. So I did get a chance to talk to Lindsay, at our event, because we had just done our live, and I was like, okay, now the food situation. You gotta be honest with me. And she's like, I'm not gonna lie. The other day, we were in the middle of a scene, and I walked away with a veggie burger, and I kind of just had taken a bite of it, and we wrapped the scene, and I kind of grabbed it and ran.
But where do they get it from?
She didn't tell me that, so we do have to check in on. We have to get to craft services.
Someone should do like a food tour. Can you imagine if we found out the restaurants and then like we did like a food tour of the restaurants, and like every place we went, it was like little samples that we could try, like, you know, Javi's famous pancakes, or the Brady Pub's famous chowder, the fries from
those fries look good.
Annalyn McCord was eating the hell out of them fries that last week. I was like, girl, give me some. I want them too.
Oh, that was awesome.
All right, we're done with that first storyline. Oh my god.
I know.
We're gonna move on next to Welcome to Titan, everybody. So
first it was everybody in town getting hired by Body and Soul. Even if they weren't acting. Now everyone's joining Titan.
So now that we have co-CEOs Xander and Philip, we now welcome to the team
excuse me,
Joy and Alex.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? I will say I enjoyed seeing Xander and Philip working together.
Yeah.
And I also enjoyed seeing Mr. Shin back.
Yep.
And I enjoyed that meeting that they had that was just like, listen, Dimera Enterprises is not doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it on over to Titan, and you'll be the head of it. And I'm like, I don't know. Makes sense to me.
It does make sense. It makes sense
Yeah.
from a business standpoint. It makes sense from a personal standpoint. I mean, they that meeting could not have gone better. They hit every positive note.
Yeah.
And bringing Alex back is only a plus.
Yeah. And I liked when they said we have our own issues, but we're a united front here, even though, we haven't always liked each other, but and the Dimeras can never do that. So I thought it seemed like that was the straw that broke the camel's back for their side to make Mr. Shin sort of be like, okay, you know what, you do have a point. Like you're putting your personal BS aside to really run the company in a good way. Now we'll see if that theory is tested when they find out the truth, hopefully. But
that was one of the things I was just like, oh gosh, when this. But I think this is the first time I was kind of like, you know what, I'm okay if this secret never comes out.
Yeah,
because I would, or if it does, Xander just doesn't go to angry. He goes, what can you do?
Yep.
He literally just like dusts it off, and he's like, you know what? We have a great relationship. We're doing it for Victor. We're both great in this. You shouldn't have did what you did, but
but he's not wrong when
he's gonna need a minute. I think he's gonna need a minute, and then he's gonna like take a minute. He's gonna take a beat and then come back like you're saying, like he's not gonna be all this that. He's not going to react the way Sarah thinks is afraid he's going to react. But I do think he's going to be more at her about it than Philip.
Ditto. I predict that as well. But I do think that he had it right when he was talking to Victor's portrait that, Victor, this actually is what Victor would have wanted.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, this is what would have happened if Victor hadn't gotten out of his own way and constantly pitted his heirs against each other. This is precisely what could have happened, is all of the Kiriakis back under one roof and being in the family business together, which is exactly what's happening. Even Brady brought Basic Black back from Dimera and put it back under the Kiriakis umbrella. Justin's there. Now Alex is back. It really does feel like they're building something really strong.
Yeah,
for sure. I was kind of surprised. I was expecting Joy to that character to be moved to Los Angeles with Body and Soul. I was fully expecting, because it was happening at the same time with her and Alex dumped her. I thought that was going to be her exit, that she moved to Los Angeles for Body and Soul, because that's why she moved to Salem. She moved to Salem to be on Body and Soul. But that changed, and now she may be preggo, so she needs a job. It's kind of falling into place now.
I hope she's not. I hope she's not pregnant.
I don't think she is. I feel like that's like the cover, and the story will be them working together.
Yeah.
I feel like they have not fully flushed out this character and how to utilize her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Joy, the actress who plays Joy, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, like because of the way she portrays Joy, I'm like, keep her around. But I really wish they came in with a better direction than like, I hooked up with Johnny, even though that hookup was not a hookup at all. But I wish, either she came to Salem with more of a purpose instead of just being dumped in Salem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like we still don't really know why Nancy brought her to Salem, except to like, I guess, maybe start anew. I don't know. And then she landed the job at Body and Soul. And then,
I mean, she is purposeless, I think, on purpose, if that makes sense. And that doesn't necessarily always work if you're trying to push a character toward a certain story. But right now, she really is that character who is just young, in her 20s, doesn't have really a direction in life, doesn't have hasn't figured out what she wants out of life. And so she's just constantly going through the motions.
She's interesting because I think they brought her on. She represents sort of a younger demographic in like the Johnny and Chanel, but she's sort of carefree and not, she doesn't have the baggage. She has the history, even though nobody in town is related to her, which is strange for Days. They love to they love to make everyone related to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they should have, we talked about this before, she's not grounded anywhere.
Yeah.
And I think the stuff with Philip we're seeing where they seem to be getting along now, honestly, she should have come in with like Philip as like the surrogate big brother or something. Do you know what I mean? Like there's nothing, like she doesn't have Chanel's not a friend. She's separate from Johnny and them. She's kind of living above the Brady pub, but there's no connection there. None of her family's here. Like why didn't she go? Like the excuse of like she took too long to decide was kind of flimsy. It was like,
yeah,
like,
the girl just needs a friend.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they not pair her up with Philip romantically, but they should have had a connection there to ground her a little bit to someone.
Yeah. Well, I do appreciate that they gave them that space this week, and that when Philip circled back around to Xander, it really did seem like the whole Stephanie dynamic between him and Alex was the furthest thing from his mind. He really did seem genuinely worried about Joy.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the little reminder of the Xander and Chloe thing. It was very short, but it was like, oh, she's Chloe's sister. Sure. We'll get her. No problem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what kind of brought Xander back to life. All right. Well, welcome to Titan. Your new hire packet is in the mail. Shall we move on?
You got any other openings?
Oh, yes.
You need a CRM specialist?
Yeah. Go ahead. You're hired.
Go ahead.
Great. You want me to send? Want me to send you a text?
Yeah, thanks.
You're hired. All right. Okay. Well, brace yourself. John is missing, so we know what this is leading to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this though, y'all better stop messing with Dr. Marlena Evans Black, because I think she about to go off. Because when she called Shane back and was like, "You let him know." Well, I was surprised that she said Marlena Evans and not Black. Yeah. But when she was like, "You let her know Marlena Evans called again," I was like, "Y'all better put somebody on that phone. Y'all better put somebody on that phone, because Marlena is not having it." But I love the flashback, of course, of the doc scene. But she's right. This is exactly what John would do too if she were missing. It's like, I gotta go. Yeah. I gotta go find him. So
yeah, and Shane is 100% avoiding her calls.
Well, it always leads me to think that Shane and Steve know way more than what they're leading on to, and they don't want to tell Marlena.
Yeah, I think Steve is out of the loop this time, but I think Shane is avoiding Marlena's calls because he knows something has gone wrong, and he's trying to gather information. I don't think he wants to call her back until he has information to actually give her.
Yeah, definitely.
And now, everybody's concerned and worried, and everyone's being told, know.
But I don't think so. Tate walked in at the end of the week saying that he'd heard from his uncle Andrew, but I don't think that's what Andrew was calling to actually tell him.
What else would he be calling?
Oh, yeah.
Because Andrew had to tell Tate that John was missing, but I think that he probably assumed that Tate already knew, because I don't think he would overstep Brady like that.
But why would Andrew have to call Tate?
Because of who walked in the door.
That's what I was thinking.
You're saying Teresa was the real phone call.
Yeah.
Like, hey, your mama's getting out of
here. Yes, yeah.
Morning.
I think that, he was trying to warn them that she was coming.
The wig's coming back.
The wig is back, y'all.
Looks better now. Anyway.
I'm so happy.
Well, I like Emily O'Brien.
For sure.
Oh, we all
I'm
yeah.
glad that
so
she's
happy.
back.
Yeah,
glad
it was
that
a nice
she's back.
surprise.
Yeah.
I actually was surprised by more Kat in this storyline. I thought that was kind of nice, those scenes she had with Marlena, because we don't get Marlena sort of being the vulnerable one and confiding in someone else, unless it's like Kayla or Kate, maybe, or Steve, maybe. But so I like the little role reversal there with those two.
Mhm.
Oh, Rayburn, I was just about to say something. Like, girl, you should have exited that office before Marlena. When Marlena said hello, you should have been already out the door. She was taking her time. Like,
I was thinking the same thing too. I was like, why is she eavesdropping? But then once the scene progressed, I came more to Justin's side about like, oh, I kind of like this. I like this dynamic. I liked that dynamic in that scene. Just the way the two were playing off each other, but then also they're kind of making. I like the fact that they're making Kat like a more like she's not, she's Marlena's assistant, but there's more of a connection there than just being her assistant.
Yes.
And that means that they're kind of giving Kat those roots to make her keep her around, I guess.
And also the John factor too of like, I wouldn't be here unless John saved my mother.
Oh, that's
30 something years ago. So, there's she's not connected to why John's missing now, but there is a connection there.
For sure.
Yeah. She, in a way, she owes her existence to him.
Yeah.
It's kind of disappointing. She'll never get, at least from what we know, like Kat won't ever get. We won't ever get a Kat and John face to face.
Oh yeah.
You had to say that.
Oh, sorry.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean it's.
I do
hard.
have a secret hope, and I know from what we know, like Drake was done filming, his last episode aired. If they by some miracle got him for like a day or like a couple hours, and they were able to like shoot something with him that we just don't know about. Like that'd be nice.
Yeah,
but I think the entire Days world will crumble if that does happen. But
I mean, it's just.
we know it doesn't.
Oh man, you had to say that. Oh, I'm bracing myself now. It's like we just recovered. Are recovering from Doug, and that was really hard to get through, even though we had like a year's notice that was coming. Same thing when we lost John Aniston. It's just God, it's really it's been a hard couple of years, guys.
Yeah, it has.
But we will get through it together, and it's nice that in this particular storyline, what we've been discussing is the way that everything is being weaved together. All of the characters, past and present, are being weaved together. It's a testament to how many lives John has touched.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah.
Eric Martzoff, when he starts reacting, it really, that's when it really kind of guts me.
Yeah, him and Marlena were good in those scenes.
And I don't think that's fake. With
no
Eric or not. I mean, he was sick at this time, so then
no, it's just it's a lot to handle. And I feel, oh my God, I feel so bad for the Brady character, because it's like, it's not this is real life affecting real REE life, but then his character is like, and his kids are just are just a mess. They're just a hot mess, and he's not even going to be able to focus on them.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Ugh.
Well, that's why Teresa's back.
and it's like, okay, so I get it, but it's like, whoever in their right mind would have imagined that Teresa would possibly be the savior in this Kate and Sophia mess. But I have faith in her.
You gotta have faith. All right. Well, that was that storyline, everyone. And we are now heading into our tidbits. But before we do, just a little reminder, everyone, please make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. We are Dishin Days Show on Facebook and Dishin Days on Instagram, Twitter, X, and Threads. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not already. And if you have, tell a friend. let them know. Go ahead, subscribe. Also, if you want to become a member of our exclusive members only page, make sure you join on our YouTube channel page. You can only access that through your laptop or computer. If you try to do it through your phone, you won't see the button. But when you see the button, hit the join button and join us. Also, make sure you find us on your favorite podcast station. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And show some LOVE to our old friend James Lott Jr. over at JLJ Media on YouTube and where all JLJ Medias can be found. Moving on into our tidbits, we got Bling Bling coming around the corner. Bling Bling with Melinda. Welcome back, Melinda.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, girl, where you been? On vacation? Okay.
She's been in her house just wearing the necklace.
Just wearing the necklace.
Here, like, and then she's like, oh, shit, I got work to do. I gotta go.
Oh dear.
Girl. Okay. Did anyone think that when they were like, oh yeah, a woman bought it. Oh yeah, she'll meet you. I was like, it's gonna be Julie. It's gonna be Julie. Julie's gonna come strutting in with that necklace on and being like, anything you want to tell me, Doug?
Oh, I think
That would have been good.
I thought it was gonna be someone we knew. I couldn't think of like.
Yeah, same here.
I had thought Melinda had it. Oh, thanks, Landon, for joining us. He's now a new member. Yay, Landon. Landon, make sure you go look at the welcome video so that you can fill out the form so that you can get the emails. People don't watch the welcome video. I'm like, it gives specific instructions so that we can communicate. But yeah, I totally thought so. Now I'm intrigued to see how Melinda gets wrapped up in this. Yeah. I also want Tate, you should have nothing to say.
I know. Right? I know. Right?
I don't want you to say nothing. You can't even be mad. You can't be sad. You can't have no emotion about this because the mess that you in.
Yep.
You just got to eat it. Yeah. I mean, he's right. He is right. Like, let's give him credit that way. He is right. But yeah, you have no leg to stand on.
No.
This is when you keep an eye on things silently and you don't bitch to Holly about it, but you keep your eye on Doug because he is right.
Because the more he protests about it, the more it's just gonna push Holly over to Doug.
Yeah. So listen, you better be glad I'm not Holly, because anytime he was like, "What was that?" I don't know. What was what? Like you getting Sophia pregnant? Oh, did I just see you and Doug holding hands? You did. Were you holding hands with Sophia when you got her pregnant?
Not like he got me pregnant.
Right? It's like, oh, why are you tangled up in this situation with Doug? I don't know. Why are you Sophia's baby daddy? Like, I would just be that petty.
Just take that card out. And
just always. Actually, I don't even have to take it out. The card is just permanently just right here. It's like, say something. Say something, Tater Tot. Say something. Okay.
She just uses it to her advantage. Where do you want to go to dinner? Like, oh, you want to go to there? It's like,
oh, are you hungry? Like you're pregnant, exactly. Baby mama? Are you eating for two? Oh gosh. But yeah, but that was definitely an interesting twist with that.
Yeah. And I don't see any potential problems with this because I feel like whatever situation Melinda and Doug come to, I think they can work it out. The only hiccup I possibly see is if Melinda starts wearing that necklace around town, Julie's gonna see it.
Yeah.
Well, first you got to see Melinda. We ain't seen her since Hatchet Had a Hammer.
Yeah.
I will say when Melinda came around the corner, I temporarily forgot she wasn't DA, so I thought this was like a weird like sting operation. I was like, oh no, he's gonna get arrested, and then I was like, oh wait, she's not the DA anymore. Like,
I had a moment too where I forgot. Like I was like, does she have a job? And then when she was talking about Kristen and she made a comment, and I think whoever scripted the show like knew we needed a reminder because she said something about being Dimera Council or has its part.
Yes.
I forgot what the line was, but she mentioned it. And I was like, oh, that was for us. Okay.
I was like, thank you. We appreciate that.
But yeah, I love Melinda there's just a presence when her character's on. Like she's very strong in all of her scenes. So word for word, that's what Julie's gonna say.
Yeah, pretty much.
Word for word.
I'm sure Susan Seaforth Hayes would not have a problem with that line if it she'd be
like I can foresee Julie like being like in the Horton Town Square, and then she's like, oh, now wait, now where did Melinda comes walking, she's like, give me back my necklace, you heifer.
You mendacious little bitch.
You know, I feel like sometimes I do impressions and scenes, and I should gather them all and send them to Marnie and be like, here's my audition for Days again.
Oh my god, she would probably be like, okay, let's watch. She'd probably crack the fuck up. Probably be like, best audition ever. In a good way. I meant that in a good way. I meant that in a you would entertain her.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
That's how I meant it.
Thank you. That's how I took it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
I took it. Okay. Anyway, enough about the bling bling. We'll see how that unfolds. Oh Lord, watch out! She's a biter.
What? Wait.
Who is this character?
What happened to this woman? Did she inhale too much asbestos in that mansion all these years? Is that why she's going around biting folks and just being nutty? Because this is not the Rachel Blake from 1996.
She might as well be a brand new character. She might as well be Kristen's aunt or something like this. I actually meant to mention this last week and I forgot because we were into it, but they're not like connecting the dots even with her. Like we got the Peter stuff this week, which I actually appreciated. Like Kristen on the phone saying Peter wants to talk to you. Like I appreciated that. But when Belle told Marlena last week that Rachel was alive, there was an ounce of recognition. Really, yeah. There was no, oh my God, Rachel's alive. Let me go get my coat. I got to get down. Like they're not connecting the dots with this character. But they're also kind of trying to rely on the history a bit with bringing up what she did to Jennifer and bringing up, of course, she's Kristen's mother, but it's not working for me. I love this character, the first iteration. I feel like it's kind of coming off like a stunt a bit.
Yeah.
They're just not being true to the history of the character.
Yeah.
Not fully true. Like they're picking and choosing what to be accurate about in terms of the character's history. But the Marlena thing is a big miss because Marlena was her advocate. Marlena was her support until she got kidnapped by Stefano. But she and Marlena were tight.
They were tight.
So there should have been more of a reaction from Marlena. Yeah. Regardless of what else Marlena was going through.
Yeah.
Like she wouldn't I wouldn't to go as far as to like have her drop everything to go see her, but at least have some sort of more substantial reaction. And the Lady in White from 1997 is not a biter.
Well,
it's like a biter. What
oh my God.
Well, Lady in White in 2025.
She cuckoo.
But also, this was the thing I rolled my eyes at. When Ava walked into her apartment and she closed the door, I was like, you just got out of jail. Do you think this is wise to go do?
This woman is a problem.
Yeah.
See, you should have known something was wrong with her with the fact that she's been at Aramid and that furniture is still covered up. It's not even wrapped in plastic. If it was wrapped in plastic, I would understand because that's what our grandmamas used to do. You wrap the good furniture in plastic, but baby, you still got tarp. Like, where do you sleep? Okay. Yeah. Like what do you do? You just walking around it. Is the electricity on? Is it in your name? Like, what are we doing over there?
And it's like, and I understand like if you want to change the character a little bit, like it has been 20 something years since we've seen her. It's like, okay, I can give you that, but also like they could have even tied it to like oh, she wants Kristen with Brady because he's John's son, and she was close with John when they were younger. Like, they could have tied it to history. They're like, I don't know. It just, there are all these little dots they could be hitting that they're just not. It's just, I don't know. If
they are changing the character this drastically, I need a reason. I need some justification for it.
What was the reason? What was the reason? Give me one reason to stay here.
I
don't know.
It's a mess. And wouldn't it just be ironic if her mother was the thing that cost Kristen everything?
Just headed down that path.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that Ava, although Belle is like, I am ready. we about to prosecute, honey. And Ava was like, as much as I would like to help you, I cannot. I actually thought her and Brady were going to break up, and she was just kind of like, you know what? I gave you what you wanted. Now I want out.
When she hung up on him, I thought that was it. I thought that was it. I was like, oh, well, this is
that's the end.
That's it for them. But
no.
But then she came back, and I was like, oh, well, that may be more realistic than it being over. Like, she was angry.
Yeah.
And now,
justifiably, yeah. I like that she was pissed and like, I need a minute. Like, I'm gonna do this because it's the right thing to do, but yeah, leave me alone for a little while. Let me come back to you on this.
I tell you what, though, she got her anger out.
Oh,
what did the 5 fingers say to the face?
Nice.
Slap.
I mean, that was necessary. That really was necessary.
It was basically like, I'm gonna get my justice. Okay, you may not be behind no bars, but you can be behind these 5 fingers. Yeah. So
I like how sometimes when a character gets slapped, they go as far as to show the character like with ice, like they got cold cocked right in the face.
That's good.
And then other times there's nothing. There's like no mark, no nothing.
Good.
So Ava must have a hand of that was a slap.
Yeah.
I rolled my eyes when Kristen was like, she better be lucky I don't press charges.
I
wanted to be like, you lucky. You're lucky that all you got was a slap.
I was very much leaning towards Brady saying that. I don't know why he didn't.
Yeah, he should have.
No. Yeah, go ahead. See what happens, Kristen. Yeah, go ahead. And press. She's so lucky. Go ahead and press charge. See what happens to you.
See what happens to Rachel.
Yeah.
Since you got your degree,
but that's
you
Kristen.
Know everything.
Kristen loves to, talk a big game. No. Doesn't know when to.
Never. All right. Well. Oh yeah, and Melinda's representing the lady in white.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
And some more Peter shots. I'm like, is Peter coming? Is he on the way back? Getting a lot of him lately.
Peter need to come on back now. Peter need to come on back. Kristen needs something else to worry, some other man to worry about besides Brady. So come on back, Peter. Not that that's her brother, but still, it's I need Peter to come back and say, "You still talking about Brady?" You
little Brady that was 3 years old when we were on the show.
We don't talk about it.
I know we don't talk about Brady.
We don't talk about ages. No. We don't talk about ages.
Oh, yeah. Little toddler Brady who used to babysit.
Lord,
there was a picture from. Someone posted it on one of
the
oh my god, why?
When Eileen was Kristen way back in the day, and like little Brady and Belle.
Yeah.
It was always Brady and Belle. Belle and Brady always came as a package when they were little.
On her lap, as a stepmom,
Guess that didn't age well.
I'm curious who they would get to play Peter.
We know who they're not getting to play.
I mean, if original Peter's not an option, who could they?
These days there's lots of options.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I feel like it would. I would want it to be somebody soap like that has soap roots.
They
Oh,
need
yeah.
a name, yeah. Hopefully
Yeah,
they
like
can.
I
name,
do think, if you've gone through all of the trouble to do the Woman in White storyline, and this is the way you're going, I would argue Peter is necessary.
Yeah.
Can I vote the guy who replaced Greg Vaughn
You
Oh yeah, that might make a good.
come in and play Peter?
a little young, but yeah.
Yeah.
I
was
think
thinking, like,
I think
if
it'd
they
be
wanted-
age appropriate.
I was thinking if they wanted to do something with Peter Porte, they could bring him back as Peter, but he might be a little too young
He's a
as
little
well.
young.
Yeah, he's way too young. No. They
I'm
would have
thinking
to
like
make
a William DeVry or
Who?
Ooh, that's a good
William
option.
DeVry's a good one.
Someone said Michael
Ooh.
Easton from General Hospital.
Oh, Michael Easton was it? Oh, Michael. Maybe a little young, but yeah.
No,
Could do
Michael Easton's
Michael.
not young, but I don't see him as the right necessary fit. No, William DeVry would be fantastic. Good choice, Justin.
Megan Bizarro.
Tony Moore.
Megan Bizarro.
Not Rob Wilson will be beaten. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about this casting tidbit.
It's still up in the air who he's playing, so I think that could be an option.
Who is that?
He was on the GH spinoff.
Port Charles.
And he and Ari Zucker, I think, used to be an item for a minute.
Huh.
I remember that from back in the day, seeing them together. I think they were actually at a Days event together that I was at.
Yeah.
But he was on
Christian.
He was on that show. He was on another. I think he popped into maybe Bold and the Beautiful too. But it's a soap name that hasn't been around for a while.
And that's kind of what I think everybody's looking for in a Peter Blake, somebody who knows the soap world, who could get in the ground running and bring back this character who's got so much history with the show, but really is necessary at this time.
Oh,
yeah.
That's why you said Tony Moore could play Peter Blake.
So basically, we're spending a lot more time on what we want this storyline to be rather than what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Might be on something. I had to look up Michael.
Yeah. He's a good looking guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know like what his character history is, if he's known for playing like the good guys or bad, or what his range is.
I wanna be bad.
Big bad looks so good.
Things on my mind. I never thought I would. Okay, yeah, great. Let's move on to the next one. This is gonna be real quick. The Spectator goes legit. Yay. So Leo is with the Spectator. He's gonna do an expose on the Dimeras. Chad approved it.
Okay. I get that Leo talks a lot. Bear with me for a minute. Bear with me for a minute. Bear with me for 1 minute. Because putting the Spectator stuff aside, I actually enjoyed Leo calling out both Chad and Doug this week. Yeah. Because I felt like it wasn't in the name of him being a nosy busybody. I think he genuinely cared about these young men and really was trying to kind of wake them up to what he was seeing.
Yeah. I just wish he would have done it in a not so annoying manner.
Well, it's
less words, less wordy, less.
He wouldn't be Leo if he did it that way.
He would be the Leo we originally saw when he first came on the show.
That was a very long time ago. Many.
Well, no, it was like 2018. Words. Stop acting like it's not like it was like 1980 something. It was 2018.
2018 was a lifetime ago.
See, well, yeah, true. A lot's happened since then.
Yeah. No. So in any case, now I appreciate it because I like that he's waking them up to their feelings, because then it's like a little push. You don't think that little push for these characters moving forward in these relationships would be coming from Leo, but I don't care if it is because I want to see it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was your week of days, and we are going to move on to our favorite part of the show, which are our segments. And we're going to start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. All right. My 3 Snaps Award goes to Tamara Braun, Ava Vitale, who basically looked at Kristen and said, listen here, ho, you might not be in jail. The cops may not get you, but these 5 fingers about to. And slapped Kristen into next week. And rightfully so. So Tamara Braun, Ava Vitale, for dueling out your own type of justice, you get Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, snap! All right. And now it's time for Caption That.
She said, listen, heifer.
Listen here, heifer.
This week's Caption That photo comes courtesy of Xander and Philip congratulating each other on their meeting with Mr. Shin Sr. And this week's caption goes to Megan Bizarro back in the game with her caption, yes, the body and soul line is officially over.
Wow.
I know it was like a month ago that they sunsetted that storyline, but I, for one, am still celebrating.
Celebrate, body and soul is gone. And that has been Caption That. And now let's take a little travel back in time with Those Were the Days.
All right, everyone, taking you back to March 3rd, 1994, when Billy and Austin started to get an inkling or suspicion that Kate could be their mother. And this, of course, is from the infamous Curtis retrial in the 90s, where Kate was exposed as his ex-wife. And for a little extra exploration on Kate and her many, many children over the years, you can check out this week's Those Were the Days extended edition for our members. And
available now.
Yes, that was March 3rd, 1994, where Billy and Austin were shocked to learn that Kate could possibly be their long-lost mother.
Coming back into the future now. Those were the days! And now it's time for It's a Gift!
This week's It's a Gift goes to the in-laws from hell who cannot agree on anything, but we're in total agreement this week with their facial expressions. I give you Mr. E.J. Dimeras and Paulina Price with the most accurate WTF looks a parent can give their child.
Dan, when he makes that shit ass face, it's like it just kind of cracks me up. And of course, Jack Hay is comedy gold, but just that. Her character that's supposed to be so dastardly, and it cracks me up. He sells it. Like.
Yeah.
It's very much like, if you like it, I love it. Or I guess we're here now. Here we are.
Good stuff.
It was awesome.
That was It's a Gift. And now it's time for News and Gossip.
Yes, and speaking of Austin, as we did a few minutes ago, Mr. Patrick Muldoon, we have congratulations are in order. He actually is executive producing the new film Riff Raff. If you haven't seen the trailer or commercial spots, it is a new movie with Gabrielle Union, Jennifer Coolidge, and Bill Murray. It is getting really great reviews. But yeah, big congrats to Patrick Muldoon. He is executive producing it. It's actually in theaters now. So yeah, it's sort of a dark sort of comedy about this blended family that also involves like the mob and drugs and very funny, very black comedy. So yeah, big congrats to him on that. Next up, we have a little update on Jamie Martin. Man, we shared that he's going to be starring in Stranger Things, the Broadway play. They actually shared a little photo of their tech week when they sort of lock in everything for the show, all the blocking and music and everything. So yeah, just a little updated photo here. And tickets and information, you go to strangerthingsbroadway.com. Then we have a little update from one of our favorite writers, Mr. Jamie Giddens. He has let us know that he has actually wrapped up his latest sort of tenure on Days of Our Lives, that he's actually joining Ron and others over at Beyond the Gates, where he'll be writing for Moving On, but his work will actually air through the beginning of 2026 because Days is so far ahead. But we just want to offer Jamie congratulations on the new job. I'm sure he will be missed as a Days writer. It's very popular.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the writing. Everybody is just moving on up today. It's a lot.
They're moving to the gates.
Yep, moving to the gates. Next up, happy birthday to Miss Mary Beth Evans, who celebrated her birthday this past weekend. Actually, happy birthday today to Miss Lauren Koslow. Several of her castmates have wished both stars well. So happy birthdays to our Days leading ladies. Next up, on the Days Peacock channel, we check in with the cast to ask for a 7 a.m. call time. What time do you wake up? So there's a lot of answers to this question for a lot of us.
I like Galen's answer the best.
6:45.
He was like 6:45, and they're all like, "Bitch!" Like,
hey, he could be being very honest.
Well, no, he's probably one of those actors that lives like on one of those streets in Burbank where he can like see the studio. So
you
don't wake up earlier than that.
It depends. It depends what is your routine. So find out who is the most well rested and who likes to sleep in. Next up, Raven and Jackie posted fabulous photos when they attended the Essence Black Women in Hollywood event last week. Here they are pictured with Ava DuVernay and Cynthia Erivo. Oh my God, it looks like a time was had, and Raven looks stunning.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So
I feel like every time I see Cynthia Erivo, all I can hear is what.
all I can see is her nails.
On that too.
Yeah, nails.
Works of art, but no, seriously, how do you go to the bathroom? I'll never understand. These are the questions I have.
Is this the moment where we stop and tell Araceli about woman things?
Try it. See what happens.
You the one that don't know about nails.
Anyways, moving on. Before I get in trouble because I gave up yelling for Lent.
Oh Lord.
Child, you probably are.
Good luck.
Okay.
I'm trying to listen to my
know how that goes.
Anyways, another Day's fave, Peter Reckles sat down with Michael Fairman this past Thursday on his YouTube channel, and he was paying tribute to both Drake Hogestyn and Wayne Northrup, his Days of Our Lives brothers, as it were. And he also went on to discuss Days' 68th anniversary. As we know, Peter's character, Mr. Bo Brady, will be coming up pretty soon-ish, spring time. Who knows? Yeah, so go to Michael Fairman's YouTube channel to get all his updates. It's a very extensive, interesting conversation had there.
Yeah. Next up, we have a lovely, amazing cause. We have Miss Martha Patterson and Eric Marksoff have teamed up to co-chair what they're calling Hoagie's Home Runners. This is a team for PanCan, which is the charity walk to fight pancreatic cancer. This is, of course, in honor of their TV dad, Mr. Drake Hogestyn. And they've actually set a fundraising goal of $50,000, which I haven't checked today. I think I checked Friday or early Saturday morning. They at least had, I think, $5,000 already going, which is great. So if you'd like to participate, if you'd like to not only participate, let me finish. The walk will take place on Saturday, April 26th, here in LA at the Santa Monica Pier in Santa Monica. All tickets and information, whether you want to donate or walk in the charity walk yourself, actually go to Martha Madison's Instagram because there are a couple of different links to whether you want to participate or whether you want to donate. So it's at Marth, MARTH 27, and it'll lead you to everything you need to know about the walk. So
as of this moment, they are 12% of their goal at $6,186.
good.
Yay.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
they said if you can't walk in LA, there are other walks taking place across the country.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, and you can always just donate. This is for specifically the link for Hoagie's Home Runners. All right, next up, we have a couple of reminders to get through. The Day Players are continuing with their 2025 tour. They just wrapped up some dates in Nashville and Birmingham. Next up, they will be heading to Oklahoma City, Addison, Texas, Albany, and Pottstown, Pennsylvania. So they have dates going through May, and they just added a new show for their Canadian fans in Toronto, and that will be September 6th of this year. And tickets information can be found at thedayplayersband.com.
Yes, and for Star Image, we have, of course, the Q&A Zoom we told you about last week. This one with Galen Garrick and Eric Martzoff. That one's going to take place on March 23rd. And then we have the summer concert series we've been telling you about. That one will take place this year, the weekend of June 20th through 21st in Montreal, Canada. And actually, Star Image is also teaming up with the Day Players for that Toronto concert that we just mentioned. So you can also get, in addition to going to thedayplayersband.com, you can also go to eventbrite.com/Star Image Entertainment to get tickets and info for that Day Players Toronto show.
And Starstruck Fan Events is going to be having their Cinco de Derby event April 5th through 6th. So this is exactly 1 month away, guys. It'll be at the Meadowlands Racetrack in New Jersey. For tickets and information, go to starstruckfanevents.com.
And last but not least, our friend is at Samantha and Friends have their Winter Wonderland Charity Fundraiser Gala taking place weekend of May 3rd through 4th of this year. And then the Haunted Mansion event taking place the weekend of September 13th through 14th of this year. All tickets and info, go to samanthasfriends.org.
All right. And that was news and gossip. And now it's time to see what's coming up this week on Peacock's Days of Our Lives.
Jaden and I slept together. Do you think she's going to tell Rafe?
There's a baby. I'm gonna be a grandmother. Joy Wesley might be pregnant with your baby.
You have no idea who your dad really is.
You don't actually think that my dad is as bad as Vinegar, do you? That guy's a rapist.
So is E.J. Dimeras.
Your mother is the woman that your father raped.
Okay.
This is gonna be heavy.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. Okay, yeah. We're gonna be we'll be paying special attention this week because a lot's gonna be happening.
I can't get how Roman said it. So is E.J. Dimeras.
I have a bone to pick, but we'll get to that next week.
Oh gosh. Well, I'm not gonna be here. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
We will be here next week to see how everything unfolds. Lord have mercy. All right. Well, everyone, that was Dishin Days. Before we head out, Michael Mattis.
Yeah.
Folks, where they can see all your fancy stuff.
You can follow me on Instagram and X/Twitter, whatever you want to call it, at ML Mattis.
Justin Lee Hareld.
Find me on Instagram at Justin Lee Hareld.
Araceli Aviles.
You can find me on Instagram and the platform that I hope Serena Williams' husband soon owns at Tia323 Araceli.
All right, you can find me on all social media platforms that everybody owns at Lounging with Tony, and you can find us, Dishin Days Show on Facebook and Dishin Days on Instagram, Twitter, X, and Threads. Thank you guys for joining us for another groundbreaking Dishin Days Show. We will see you all next Sunday, where we will be giving you a full dish of Peacock's exclusive #1 award-winning hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. Until then, everyone have a wonderful week. Enjoy yourself. Be safe. And don't forget to watch Days on Peacock. Till next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.